I'd like to call this meeting of the Clay County Commission to order. We will start with our invocation. Commissioner Wagner, if you would please lead us.
If you would join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you for the opportunity to come before you and our citizens this evening to make decisions that affect everyone in the area that we represent. We ask for your wisdom to make good decisions that will be good for everyone, all concerned. We also ask you to still bring your healing touch to so many members of this community who have faced violence or the prospect of violence over these last several days. And we finally ask you to look over us over this weekend as we expect a lot of weather and the opportunity then for some things to not work out in the way we plan. But we know that with your guiding hand, you will help us make it through that time. And this we pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States.
Thank you. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Nolte?
Here.
Commissioner Withington? Commissioner Lawson? Here. Commissioner Wagner? Here. Commissioner Johnson?
Here.
Commissioner Thompson? Here. Commissioner Carpenter? Here.
Thank you. Next is approval of this evening's agenda. Commissioner Johnson.
Move to approve tonight's agenda.
Motion has been made for the approval of this evening's agenda. Discussion. Seeing none, you are recognized to close.
I close.
Please call the roll.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Lawson?
Here. Yes.
Commissioner Wagner?
Aye.
Commissioner Thompson?
Yes.
Commissioner Carpenter?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Next are public comments. Are there any members of the public wishing to address the commission on issues not on the agenda this evening? Seeing none. That brings us to our consent agenda. Mr. Administrator.
Yes, good evening. We have five items on our consent agenda tonight. Our first one is commission meeting minutes from November 20th, December 2nd, December 4th, and December 9th. Our next one is 2026-17 approval invoice payments for Clay County for the period of January 10th through January 16th. Had a total of 348 invoices totaling $772,995.30. Our next one is a 2026-19 approval of semi-annual payment for 2026 for Synergy Services from the Auditor's Office. The semi-annual payment of available funds budgeted with the Domestic Violence Fund of $293 to Synergy House Incorporated in the amount of $12,085.58. Next one is 2026-21 approval of 2026 County Aid Road Trust. CART is the acronym for that one. Program agreement from Missouri Department of Conservation through our Road and Bridge Fund, which allows us to move forward with an agreement for Cooley Lake Conservation Area. Your next one is 2026-22 is approval of the appointment for Planning and Zoning Commission of Commissioner Joanne Lawson. And that'll be it for our consent agenda.
Is there a motion regarding the consent agenda? Commissioner Johnson.
Move to approve tonight's consent agenda.
Motion has been moved for the approval of this evening's consent agenda. Discussion? Seeing none, you are recognized to close.
I close.
Please call the roll.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Lawson?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagner?
Aye.
Commissioner Thompson?
Yes.
Commissioner Carpenter?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
That brings us to our regular agenda this evening. Our first item on regular agenda is 2026-18. Mr. Administrator.
Yes, 2026-18. Approval of invoice payments for Clay County Prosecutor's Office for the period of January 10th through January 16th of 2026. Had a total of 3 invoices totaling $655.58.
Thank you. Is there a motion? Commissioner Johnson.
Move to approve 2026-18.
Motion's been made for the approval of 2026-18. Any discussion? Seeing none, you are recognized to close.
I close.
Please call the roll.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Lawson?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagner?
Aye.
Commissioner Thompson?
I recuse myself.
Commissioner Carpenter?
Yes.
Motion passes 4 in favor, 1 recusal.
Next item is 2026 Ordinance 4.
Yes, 2026 Ordinance 4 is approval of supplemental agreement for replacement of bridge 1840010 on Stockdale Road over Camden Pacific and Union Pacific Railroads. We have our Road and Bridge Director, Tom Dagenhart, here to explain additional information regarding that ordinance.
Please proceed.
Thank you. Good evening. Tom Dagenhart, Road and Bridge Director. Excuse me. This ordinance is for a supplemental agreement for the Stockdale Road Bridge replacement over the Canadian and Union Pacific Railroads with the Missouri Department of Transportation. The original agreement was approved by this commission on August 15, 2024 by ordinance 2024-ORD-20. This supplemental agreement moves the plans, specifications, and estimate, submittal and approval, advertising for letting, bid opening, and construction award dates back 1 year from 2025 to 2026. This is needed due to the extended negotiations with not one but two railroads over this bridge. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Just want to say thank you for that. I know that there are, dealing with a lot of people, and that certainly, while we appreciate the work the railroads do, sometimes those negotiations are a bit more complex, especially when you're doing two lines. So we appreciate the hard work and the time you put in.
Thank you.
Commissioner Johnson.
Move to approve 2026 ordinance 4.
Motion has been made for the approval of 2026 Ordinance 4. Discussion? Seeing none, you are recognized to close.
I close.
Please call the roll.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Lawson?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagner?
Aye.
Commissioner Thompson?
Yes.
Commissioner Carpenter?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Next item is 2026-20. Please proceed.
Yes, 2026-20, approval of commercial water users agreement, Public Water Supply District Number 9. We have Director of Parks, John Davis, to explain additional information regarding 2026-20.
Please proceed.
John Davis, Parks Director. As a part of our project, the ARPA project, where we're abandoning the water lines under Smithville Lake, we now have to connect into Public Water District Number 9 out of Smithville. They'll be feeding the Crows Creek Park area, and this is just a agreement signed with them and approved so they can start charging us for water.
Very good. Commissioner Johnson.
Move to approve 2026-20.
Motion's been made for the approval of 2026-20. Discussion? Seeing none, you are recognized to close.
I close.
Please call the roll.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Lawson?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagner?
Aye.
Commissioner Thompson?
Yes.
Commissioner Carpenter?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Next item is 2026-23. Mr. Administrator.
Yes, 2026-23 is approval of funding for our roof projects for Rooney Justice Center Detention and Public Safety Building. We have our Facilities Director, Donna Kuntz, who is here to expand on the resolution.
Please proceed.
Good evening, Commissioners. Donna Kuntz, Facilities Director. This will be the third time we've brought up the roof. Once during the budget, we did a presentation on this in November, and then also our County Administrator and our budget hearing in November did it as a highlight of one of our key projects for 2026. So this is requesting the formal approval to appropriate the funds to Garland to do this project for us. The only new information I have is I did not list before that it does give us a 25-year warranty on these three roofs.
Okay. Discussion? Commissioner Johnson.
I had a question. How old is this current roof?
Well, there have only been repairs done on the detention and the Rooney Justice Center. The last major repair that was done to Rooney Justice was in 2003 when the tornado hit it and ripped off the copper dome. In about 2001, possibly 2002, sorry, I'm going from memory here, the public safety roof was worked on, and a fairly major repair. It was not a total tear-off, though. But there have been no new roofs for years.
And then, so there's no warranty or insurance issues or anything like that that would help out with any of this?
No. We used up our insurance when we had the copper dome ripped off the Rooney Justice during the tornado.
Okay.
But this is one of the ones we looked at providing the funds, and then from our ARPA interests, we were able to provide the remaining amount.
By the way, I didn't mean to suggest that you didn't look into insurance and the warranty. I was saying that for the purpose of people who are asking why we're spending over $2.5 million on a roof, whatever it is. With that, move to approve 2026-23.
Motion has been made for the approval of 2026-23. Any further discussion? Seeing none, you are recognized to close.
I close.
Please call the roll.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Lawson?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagner?
Aye.
Commissioner Thompson?
Yes.
Commissioner Carpenter?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you. Before we move on to the next item, I think there may be a number of people here who may well want to voice their opinions. I just want to say that when you come up to the podium, please make sure that the green light is on. There's a button that will turn it on. Speak directly into the microphone, address the commission, start with your name, and then go ahead and give us the comments that you have that you would like to share with us. With that, Mr. Administrator, 2026-24.
Yes. 2026-24 is in a matter of vacation of right-of-way for White Ridge Estates. We have our Planning and Zoning Director, Kip Jones, who's here to speak additional information regarding that.
Please proceed.
Kip Jones, Planning Director. So this is a request to vacate right-of-way. On the screen now, the two properties that are the applicants tonight are outlined in yellow. The right-of-way that they are requesting to be vacated is outlined in the kind of the aqua green color, blue. It is a 60-foot wide right-of-way that was platted with the White Ridge Estates plat in the 1980s. And it runs directly in between those two lots and was platted that way in the 80s to provide access to the property to the east if it was ever needed, and we'll talk about that in a little more detail here in a minute. This is a snippet of the plat showing that right-of-way in the yellow. As I stated, it sits right in between those two lots. You'll see that it's labeled 117th on the plat. That is an error. It actually lines up with 118th Street, so you'll see it named both. If it would ever go in, it would get named 118th Street. And the way this would work is if the commission approves to vacate, the county would deed 30, or the way we've done it in the past is we would deed 30 feet to both adjoining properties. The applicants would be responsible for the recording fees, and then they would be able to choose whether they plat or not, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in detail here in a minute. A vacation request is a little bit unique. When we did the streamlining of the planning and zoning processes, we did not change this process where it still has to come to the Planning and Zoning Commission and County Commission for approval. The thought process there was we should give the citizens and utility companies a public meeting to express concerns through that process. And you can see those are the four criteria that must be met, which the first one is due and legal notice has been provided. Staff did publish this in the newspaper, sent adjacent property owner letters, and posted a sign. Second one is no private rights will be injured or endangered. Third is the public will suffer no loss or inconvenience. To date, we have had no opposition. You'll see in your packet there was actually a petition of support from the neighbors for this case. And the last one is in justice to the applicant, the vacation should be approved. Staff believes those have been met. So I want to show you the surrounding area a little bit. That is the 60-foot right there. So those are other potential accesses. It has 120th Street to the north, so that's a county road. And I'm going to do a little bit of drawing, hopefully. So this is the land that we're talking about getting access to. It has access from 120th to the north. This one down here is 115th Street. It is another paper right-of-way that road does not exist, but it could provide access to this city limits of Liberty property. And then there's two in the private garden subdivision that is platted for access as well. You can see these two lots are divided, and the way they've been divided, they don't have a whole lot of frontage. They're long, skinny lots. For that to be really developed, those are probably going to have to be developed together. And there is a very nice home on this property, so the chance of those developing anytime soon probably is not very good. That's one of the reasons staff did not have objection to this request. As I stated, the neighbors have been supportive of the application. Road and Bridge Department has not objected. Planning and zoning staff recommended to the Planning and Zoning Commission approval with one condition. The Planning and Zoning Commission voted 8-0 to approve, and they added a second condition. And you can see those two conditions there. The one that staff recommended is that the resolution, if the County Commission approves, be recorded with the approved deeds. And the Planning and Zoning Commission added a condition that would require the property owners to replat to include that 30 feet within their lot, and to plat any additional land that they own to meet county standards. And that plat would be recorded at the same time as the resolution and the approved deeds. And the applicant is present tonight, and I believe he is going to request that the commission remove condition number 2. And I would be happy to answer any questions the commissioners have.
Commissioner Lawson.
Yeah, the only question I had is, if they had to do the replat and file and all of that, what kind of an expense would they be looking at?
Well, their biggest expense would be the surveying, so I can't give you a price there, because they would have to have the whole property surveyed and the plat created. Costs minus the surveying would probably be in the $1,500 range.
Yeah, okay. And I think it said in something I was reading in advance, that one of the gentlemen has really been maintaining that all along, as though it were his
Correct.
property. So he's been taking care of it. Okay, all right, that's all I had.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Commissioner
That's how I know
Johnson.
when you're done, when those curtains come out. If you can repeat again, if you said already, tell me again the reasoning why number 2 was added.
So without getting into the weeds too much, well, and actually I'll show you another diagram. So again, here we have, actually I'm going to go past this one. Okay, so let me go back. So there's the 60-foot in red. Here are the 2 lots that the applicants own in the White Ridge subdivision. The owner of this lot has recently purchased this acreage in behind them. And it's been divided from this. The northern property is in the process of being platted into 3 lots, which would make this landlocked because it wouldn't have access. Now, the county land development code has a provision for that, and what we do is we flag that property and we don't give out any building permits on that property until that problem is fixed, which they could fix that by attaching it possibly to the lot they own there, or they could provide a 60-foot wide access easement to it, but both of those would require the plat. The reason staff didn't recommend that is we feel there's a mechanism in the LDC to take care of that eventually, and didn't feel like it had to be done now, but I think the Planning and Zoning Commission was worried that it creates that flagged lot and creates an issue.
Yeah. Well, I'll be curious to hear from the from the applicants, but you know my thoughts. I'm not a big fan of government overreach. My thought is, hey, this is their property. He owns. I don't care where you put the dividing line. He owns it all. At least those 2 parcels that you showed there. And I'm not a big fan of adding more rules to someone that if we don't need to. People live in the country because they want to get away from government, and we find them anyway. But those are my thoughts. I'll be curious to hear what they have to say.
Commissioner Wagner?
Thank you. And I think you've partially answered the question for me. The only other thought I would have as to why you would replat is if the property's ever sold, then at some point you can't sell it until it's been platted properly. And so at that point, either the seller or the buyer has to take on that expense of the replat. So am I onto something with that?
You're correct. They should plat it before they sell it. We cannot stop them from selling it.
Right.
But they should disclose it as a flagged lot that would need to be corrected. The best time to correct it would be now because it's the same property owner.
Sure.
Because we have to treat that like a buildable lot.
Right.
And right now, it's not a buildable lot.
So the choice really is, you're either going to do it when you decide to do something with the property, or you're going to do it when you sell the property. So the question is, when do you want to take on that expense? Is that essentially correct?
I think that's correct, yes.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Okay. If there are no more comments, if the applicant would like to come forward.
Yes, sir. Good evening. Randall Crawford, and I'm the attorney for the applicant. And just so you know, the applicants are Greg and Donna Alden, and Ryan and Kathleen Kohler over here.
Thank you.
And they, the Kohlers own the property, which would be on the top of that picture, and the Aldens own the property on the bottom. The Kohlers bought the property in blue. And you've kind of already hit on the points that I was going to talk about, so I might be a little briefer than I intended to be. But the Aldens have owned the property for 41 years. So 41 years, Greg's been out there mowing and maintaining this property, and the property that the Kohlers own, they've been doing the same thing, and the neighbors before them were doing the same thing. It's just a green space, it's a yard between these two lots. And if you don't know where White Ridge Estates is, maybe all of you, it's 120th and Route A in that area there. So that's the area we're talking about. And then in December, the Kohlers have lived there 3 years, the Aldens have lived there 41 years. And then in December, Mr. and Mrs. Kohler bought the 25 acres behind them. They bought that with the intention of, they like the outdoors, they like the wildlife, they like the green space, and they like to have a little land of their own that they can do something with to enjoy those types of things. So that's exactly why they bought it. That's what they intend to do with it. That property has been used for the past several years by Brown Excavating, and they've had some old equipment back there. They've had some construction debris and things like that back there. That is all being removed by the Kohlers. It's being entirely cleaned up at pretty good expense to them in doing that. Their goal is to turn it into a green space again for the wildlife and for them to enjoy. And quite honestly, and I live very near to that area, up of Walnut Drive, and we all have green space around us. Some of us have green space of our own, but my feeling always was that green space not only benefits the Kohlers, but it benefits everybody else in the neighborhood too. Because if you can see it, you can enjoy it. And if the animals are living there and you like the animals, you're seeing that's contributing to that as well. So that's why that's why the property's been purchased, and that's what they intend to do with it. Clean it up, make it better than it has been for probably decades, to tell you the truth, as far as the appearance of it. And the neighbors, even though that street has never been developed there, the reason the neighbors signed the petition was because when they were doing work on Route A, they routed traffic on Fishing River Road through them. They then learned the lesson the hard way: we don't want more traffic coming through our neighborhood unnecessarily. That was a real pain to them. They don't want to see that happen again. And as Mr. Jones said, it's very, very unlikely that these two long, narrow strips, rectangular shape, would ever be developed to begin with. So there's really no need for that street to be there at all. And vacating it solves that problem. And it also gives the property back to the people that's actually been maintaining it all these years. Mr. Jones, again, has pointed out other possible future accesses that are there. I may be wrong on the name, but this huge project, Montague or something like that, what's the name of it that's, what? Montage, there we go. That, I know when I first met with Mr. Jones, he anticipated where that city limits of Liberty property is. We don't know this, but he thought they would perhaps also require some access from that direction as well, so that if it ever does become a time when maybe the Kohlers don't own it anymore, or maybe they decide 30 years from now they want to develop it, and maybe there's access there. If not, as you've already raised the question, when it needs to be replatted, if they have to replat, they will replat. And they would prefer to do it on their timetable instead of being directed to do it now. It's an unnecessary expense that they do not need right now. And then also, the Aldens and the Kohlers are also going to agree to a 60-foot private easement already. We've got that drafted. Obviously, we can't sign it because we don't own the property. But then to allow 60-foot easement to go back there on that property anyway. So there would be an access between those neighbors to allow access to go across that property to do it with. So that's, I kind of addressed some of the questions that Mr. Johnson asked, Mr. Wagner asked, that you're talking the same thing we're talking. And that's the reason we'd like to see those conditions removed. As far as replatting it, I don't think any of them have any intention, neither the Aldens nor the Kohlers at this time, to replat to absorb that extra 30 feet into their property. I understand it will result in 2 tax bills. That's not an issue to either of them. You get 2 bills and you pay 2 bills. So they're fine with that. So with that, that's what we're asking you to approve the vacation of this roadway and also to remove that condition number 2. Keep condition number 1, it's got to be recorded. And then another thing, which I mentioned to Mr. Jones right at the end here, that, and I've mentioned this to Councilor Graham as well, that there's 60 feet there, and my understanding is that typically what the commission would do would be to apportion 30 feet to each landowner. However, the landowner's in agreement that to give 25 feet to Mr. Alden and give 35 feet to Mr. Kohler. So if you're able to do that, and if Mr. Graham would like something in writing signed by both of those 2 people, by the owners, we could certainly provide that. That would save them from having to turn around and do it again. So if we do it that way, and the reason being is because there's some trees that were planted years and years ago that are real close to this 60 feet. And if we shift another 5 more feet over on Alden, that helps the Kohlers with where, if they ever did decide to put a drive or something there. So that's the reason behind it. So that's it in a nutshell. That's why we want to do away with the road. And if you got any questions of me, I'd be happy to answer them.
Commissioner Johnson.
No, I did have a question, but I think you answered it. I'd like to move to approve 2026-24 with condition number 2 excluded. And I think this one needs the box approved checked on this one. Yeah, and check the box approved.
Very well. Motion has been made to approve 2026-24 with the box marked approved and with the removal of condition number 2. With that, any discussion?
Will not have 2.
Right.
Well, yeah, we'll remove 2, that's what I said, yeah. I'm glad you made it, because I repeat them so that everybody's clear on what we're voting on, so that's very good. Yes? That's a good point. Motion has been made, so the motion is on the table. If anyone else, we still have discussion. Just because the motion is made does not cut off debate. Was there someone else who wanted to weigh in?
I do have, I guess Mr. Jones and I were talking about this, what the right way to address that. Instead of 30-30, it'd be 35-25, and it would probably be a new condition that would outline that, and then with that direction, we could make it happen. Of course, I would like confirmation from the 2 landowners that, in fact, they do want that. That particularly the folks, I think maybe the Aldens who would be taking the 25 feet. Yes. Is that right? Yes. So could the 2 families maybe agree that that's the split that they want, and then we can address how to make that happen. That's fine. Yes. Okay, so let the record show that both families want to change from the standard 30-30 on how this would be distributed to 35-25, with the Kohlers taking 35, the Aldens taking 25. And Mr. Jones, the best way to do that would be to add a new condition?
Yes, add a new condition requiring the county to deed 35 feet to the Kohlers and 25 feet to the Aldens.
Okay.
And then we'll take care of it in the deeds.
Just to have it withdrawn and restate.
Let's withdraw it and start over with that understanding, if everybody's okay with that.
Commissioner Johnson, if you caught all that, okay, please proceed.
Yep, I move to withdraw my prior motion and would like to make a new motion to approve 2026-24 with the box marked approved, eliminate
the current number 2.
The current number 2 and add.
And replace it with a new number 2 and let Mr. Jones kind of express what that'll be.
Requiring that the county deed 35 feet to the Kohlers and 25 feet to the Aldens in the deeds that will be recorded with the resolution.
So moved.
Very good. Motion has been made to approve 2026-24 with the box marked approved with the removal of the existing condition number 2 and replacing it with the new number 2 as recited by Mr. Jones. Does that cover the restatement of the motion?
Yeah.
And you're okay with that motion restatement? Very good. That being the case, is there any discussion? Is there anything else from the applicant or anything like that? No? Good. Very good. Seeing none, you're recognized to close.
I close.
Please call the roll.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yes.
Commissioner Lawson?
Yes.
Commissioner Wagner? Commissioner Thompson?
Yes.
Commissioner Carpenter?
Yes.
Motion passes 5-0.
That concludes our regular agenda. Next are county administrator comments. And by the way, Mr. Administrator, I just found a rather stylish scarf, which I understand all the commissioners got. So if, in your comments, if you would like to comment on this particular item of elegant clothing, I think we would all appreciate just a word or two on that subject.
Sure. As, again, going back to our Go North campaign, which is collaboration between Clay County and Platte County, which is in preparation for FIFA World Cup, which is coming up in a few. Oh, man, it's getting short now. We're into days instead of months away. But the scarf you have there, if you're familiar with soccer, scarf is something that is something utilized to show your allegiance to particular teams. Well, this one, you're showing your allegiance to the Go North team. So that one there is just another product to allow to promote not only Clay County businesses, but also Platte County businesses as part of the campaign and in preparation for the World Cup. So, colors and designs came from our committee that worked on it. That is one of several products they're looking at to try to help promote the businesses. The other things that you saw with yours is the 7 watch parties, which is also on the Go North webpage. And then just recently, they just announced, I can't say they announced that, but they have several teams that are looking to come to here. And 2 of those are 2 of the larger fan bases, and that's Argentina and England. So just adds to the fanfare of what we're getting here within this region. So we're hoping to be prepared and hoping to have our business prepared to take advantage of that. Hopefully be an economic boom to all those who are participants in it. So.
And do you have some other comments to make as well?
No, that'd be it. Other than that is that our next meeting is January 29th, which is next week. Stay safe and warm this weekend as well.
Thank you. We'll start with Commissioner Lawson for commissioner comments.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. There you go.
Thank you. The only thing I wanted to say was that I'm really excited about serving on the Planning and Zoning Board. I live in the unincorporated area. I felt that I was ultimately qualified, and I look forward to supporting our comprehensive plan and being very fair in any decisions that I make sitting on the Planning and Zoning. So thanks for the support. I appreciate it greatly and look forward to being one of the many.
Commissioner Wagner.
Just very briefly, I also want to say be safe and be warm, everyone, and I also want to congratulate our county administrator on his display of keen fashion sense and look forward to other examples as we get closer to the World Cup. Thank you.
Commissioner Johnson.
Yes, thank you. Real quick, I just want to comment. You've probably all seen on the news recently some of the crazy protests that have been going on, different places, a lot of it in Minnesota, but throughout the nation. And, I'm all for peaceful protests, but when protests get violent, I don't care what side you're on, it's not right. And I thought it really crossed the line the other day when we saw protesters go into a house of worship and disrupt a house of worship. And that's not American. And I just want people to know, here in Clay County, actually in the whole state of Missouri, we have a House of Worship Protection Act that's been in place since, I think, 2012, something like that makes it a crime to do exactly that. The first offense is up to 6 months and a $1,000 fine, 6 months in jail, and repeat offenders can be charged as a Class D or Class E felony and lead to prison time. So hopefully that kind of silliness doesn't ever come to our county or to our state, but just know that we do have laws in place for that. And again, I don't care where you stand on any issue. Peaceful protest, I'm all for it. Unfortunately, I've been on skirmish lines too many times for unpeaceful protests, and there's just no reason for it.
Commissioner Thompson. Commissioner Carpenter.
Thank you. I just want to also lend my voice to stay safe and warm out there. You know, we'll see what this turns out to be, but it could be, you know, kind of the big one in terms of winter storms in this country, maybe the biggest that we've seen in our lifetimes. We'll see. Hopefully it won't be that bad. Fingers crossed. You know, all this talk of vacation approval today. I was supposed to go on vacation tomorrow. Different kind of vacation, out to North Carolina to visit my brother, and got his lovely family. His little nephew, my nephew, is turning 5 this week, so we were gonna, you know, do that. But North Carolina is in the bullseye of the ice that is projected. And, you know, so he lives in Asheville. It's western, sort of mountainous North Carolina. About a year and a half ago, they got hit very hard by Hurricane Helene. Have not fully recovered, and this one is looking like it could potentially be pretty bad in terms of power outages and inability to, you know, move around. So keep those people in your thoughts, your prayers. Hopefully it won't be too bad, but it is very much on the table that it could be. So we as a country may have to pull together and respond. Hopefully around here we'll be okay. Last I've seen, higher and higher predictions of snow, maybe up to 10 inches now, they're saying. We'll see. That'll be a lot better than the ice, though, a lot less power outages, that kind of thing. So I think we'll be okay, but to all the, you know, road crews and everything, we, of course, extend our thanks to them.
Thank you. I want to echo those sentiments. Certainly, I would urge everyone to be very careful about this weather. It is dangerous. It is not only the ability to travel, but also the low temperatures. So, I mean, we have an awful lot to be cautious about. And if you absolutely must travel, do travel safely. Take every precaution. And I would also suggest that check on your neighbors. Check on the people around you. We are a community. One of the things that I think Clay County can really stand proud about is that we are, in fact, a community that cares about one another. And I think that it's always a good thing. Check on elderly neighbors. Make sure that if you see anybody out there in any danger, that you are able to do something about that. And also, please don't forget a lot of us own dogs and other domestic animals. Please make sure that you are taking care of them. Obviously, you want to make sure that you watch your neighbors, but also every one of God's creatures, I think, deserves our attention and our protection whenever we can render it. With that, I will get us out of here before that storm hits. Thank you very much.